It is Mahala Monday. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you very much for joining us. And there's Rhoda.
Good morning and welcome to Mahala Monday. And what a special Mahala Monday do we have today?
Yeah, that's really great having you with us. Rhoda and I, we've been looking forward to this one, as we always do. And thank you for watching, of course. As you know, we are live on YouTube and Facebook. And the details for that is all at the bottom of your screen at Nickay Productions. You'll find us on YouTube and on Facebook. And of course, I point this out because we're looking forward to all your comments and questions during the course of the show. Now, as always, you know it's an interactive show. And as always, Mahala Monday really takes you to the fore of what is happening. And of course, we featured amazing businesses, entrepreneurs, as well as organizations that is really doing amazing things. And today is no different because it is really, this organization is a friend.
That is so
That's
true.
what I can say.
Yeah, we've had them on our show a few times now, and you know, it's one of the places we've really love supporting at the end of the day because it does make a difference for us in our country.
It certainly does. And who are we talking about? Well, we are talking about the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust. And today we're going to find out a little bit more because they've got some exciting things happening as well. And we've got people joining us.
That is right. So today, the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust is proud to announce the inaugural golf day taking place on the 13th of May, guys. So take note of that date, the 13th of May. At Pearl Valley Jack Nicklaus Signature Golf Course at Bellville Estate in Paarl. So join the founding Tutu Tyger, Tygerberg Tutu, Vernon Philander at this prestigious golf, which promises to be a full day with amazing prizes up for grabs, competitions, giveaways, and raffles and auctions.
Oh, so it's definitely exciting. There's some big things happening. And for that reason, we've got two people joining us on this live broadcast of Mahala Monday. So now that you know what it is all about, more importantly, I just remind you, it is an interactive show. We look forward to your questions and comments at Nickay Productions. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, definitely pose those questions to us. So joining us on this broadcast on the 3rd of May for Mahala Monday, the CEO of the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, Jason Falcon, good morning, as well as Protea and legend, I call him legend, Mr. Vernon Philander, which is also a Tutu Tyger. Gentlemen, good morning, and thank you very much for your time, and welcome to Mahala Monday.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you for having us.
Absolutely awesome to have you guys along, man. It is really brilliant. Love the Bruce Lee and everything there in the background, Vernon. You can see that sort of sporting theme is coming through. Loving it. Jason, let's get straight stuck into this because we have spoken and really when I say the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust is really a friend, it is really because you guys, and let me just tip my hat again, I think the Trust does amazing work. A lot of us think so. And of course, whenever we can support, we have to. And it is really just fantastic. But now there's a golf day coming.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed. So this golf day has been a long time planning, actually. It should have happened last year, but of course, for some reason, events weren't allowed last year. Of course, we had a little thing called the pandemic. So it's pushed things a little bit forward, but we are very excited to finally have our golf day underway, happening on the 13th of May at the Pearl Valley Jack Nicklaus Signature Golf Course at the Bellville Estate.
Yeah, no, definitely sounds exciting. Rhoda is quite a keen golfer. She's very good as well, but we're going to get to that. So just to break it down, how is Vernon now involved with us, Jason?
Well, you know, last year, on Youth Day last year, in fact, we founded a leadership platform called the Tutu Tygers. Of course, the Arch is a long-term patron of the trust. So we borrowed his surname, and of course, Tigers, as in Tygerberg Hospital, linked the two names together to form the Tutu Tygers leadership platform, and founded then by 4 young leaders from around the area of Tygerberg Hospital, being, of course, Big Vern himself, Ashley Johnson, Joanne de Jong, and Cornel Hendricks. They make up the 4 founding members of the Tutu Tygers leadership platform.
Okay, beautiful. So Vernon, this question I'll have to ask you then. So what is your role as a Tutu Tyger, if you can tell us that?
Yeah, I think, just latch on to what Jason has said there. Obviously, the Archbishop Tutu is getting on in years, so, he can't take up, too many responsibilities anymore. But he's left a massive legacy for us youngsters to really take on the baton of him, moving forward in terms of, having the awareness around the hospital, the needs that there is for the hospital. And I think, it's such a wonderful privilege to be a part of, for us to really, take a baton and move it forward. Of course, being younger, obviously in the mind and also at heart, we've got a massive role to play in terms of how we go about it. Me being from Ravensmead personally, the hospital is obviously situated on our doorstep. So, yeah, I just felt, the need straight away when Jason called me the first time and discussed the idea with me. I said, Jason, I'm in, you don't have to even think about it. So, yeah, I think, we have a massive role to play. Look, it is obviously a government hospital, so it relies a lot on donations, obviously to go towards the hospital. So it's ultimately our role to make sure that the next generation is being looked after, and eventually we'll then have to hand that baton down to someone else. But I also think that the world of sport has given me a really good platform to become that voice, on behalf of the hospital and also those needy children. So, yeah, I think it's a wonderful privilege, first of all, to be taken over that baton from the Archbishop Tutu, which have left a massive legacy, although he's still alive. And I think it's also wonderful to to really take on that baton whilst he's still alive, and not obviously one day when he's moved on. So, yeah, for me personally, it's a massive honor, and like I said, hopefully we can keep that hospital a massive feeder for a very long time to come.
Yeah, look, I can certainly hear your passion, which is brilliant, because that is what you love to see. So so you're one of the 4 founding members, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, Jason, just to give a little perspective in terms of the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust. Now, we know that on an annual basis, you cater to a serious amount of young children and babies that go through the trust, and I mean we're talking vast numbers here. How important is it, of course, to keep that going?
Well, it's massively important, as to be honest with you, it's something that we cannot ultimately solve if you look at the pure breadth and scale of the problems at the hospital and the role that the hospital plays in the broader society, which is very much broken. So we're trying to solve this almost unsolvable problem, but we are rallying resources such as the Tigers, such as business members of the public who incidentally come and play at our golf day, which is also one of the reasons for hosting a golf day, is to connect with networks of people to rally their support towards this almost unattainable goal. But we are making an effort, and we will chip away as much as we can. So any small impact we can make is a long roads ahead of actually doing nothing. So that is how we view it.
Yeah. I'm sure Rhoda's got a question for you, because you touched on all the stuff that is so close to Rhoda now.
Yeah, so I'm going back to you again, Vernon. So how are you involved with this golf day?
Yeah, look, I think I'm an avid golfer, and I think I was the one to really, sit on Jason's head and say, we need to host a golf day. Pearl Valley is my home golf course, of course. So yeah, I think in making this happen, I obviously knew that I had to step up and really make it eventuality. I mean, it has been a difficult, probably 18 years for everyone. Last year with COVID, and also I think financially a lot of people has been struck, quite badly. But it's good to see that the golf day is on the verge of being sold out. It just shows you that the amount of support that there still is for our communities, for the poor out there. And I would really like to encourage everyone. I mean, even if you can't be at the golf day, even if you make a donation towards the hospital in some or other form, it however big or small, it all adds up at the end of the day. And yeah, my role is basically to entertain everyone that that's going to be at the golf day. And then really to interact. I'm looking forward to hosting everyone down there, and like Jason has said now, we really want to interact with businesses and have a handshake, that's going to really walk a long way together. It's not just about, one golf day and then off you go.
Yeah.
It's really about forming a relationship and forming a circle of life, basically, where we really plow back into the next generation. And hopefully we can keep that circle going for generations to come.
Oh, yeah.
I like what you're saying there, Jason. Given what Vernon has just said, I actually want to move this to you because whatever funds are being raised, and I can hear what Vernon is talking about, a sustainable relationship, because that is what it is all about. You know what I mean? It is about, like you put it, it's getting that circle going. Now, let me ask you this: whatever funds are being raised, of course, there's a lot that the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust does. Any of the funds that is raised with the golf day, is that specifically assigned for certain projects, or does that add to the basket of services that you offer?
Yes, so the Golf Days fundraising is generic towards the campaigns we are running at the moment. We have about 3 primary campaigns running, and they are quite demanding. So we kind of spreading the resource in terms of support of those three projects. And those 3 projects are being the neonatal equipment purchases. The other one is the KMC Mom Supports, where we provide mothers with care packages while they're in the hospital. These include things like toiletries, sanitary towels, clothing for them and the babies. And then there's the new kid in the block, which is the Latch-On breast milk drive, where we are trying to improve the value chain around the supply of pasteurized human milk, particularly to our preemie babies in the hospital.
Okay. So that is what most of the funds would go to. Now, let me just go back to Vernon, because Vernon said something a moment ago. He said he's an avid golfer. Are you any good, sir? I got to ask, man. People want to know.
I wouldn't like to call myself any good. I normally let other people do that talking for me or on behalf of me. But yeah, I'm playing of a scratch at the moment, so yeah, that should say wonders about myself. I don't like to blow my own bubble.
Before you go further, let me just go back there. I retract the question. Let's assume you never answered it.
But yeah, I suppose the golf day will be just fun. I'm looking forward to just really hosting everyone and just interact with a lot of people. And yeah, I mean, first of all, create friendships, but also partnerships that will, like I said, be a sustainable solution. Not just for the hospital, but also for friendships and, like I said, partnerships in for years to come.
Yeah.
And to the best of your knowledge, so there's 4, you're one of the founding Tutu Tyger members. Looking at all of this, I mean, all 4 of you, and Jason mentioned all the other gens that's also involved with us, all of you share that same passion.
Yeah, I think it's probably got to do with the way we got brought up. We probably face similar sort of circumstances, having to go to a government hospital. So we know the challenges of the community out there, and ultimately we want to provide a better healthcare system for the next generation that's going to come through. But also I think what we try to establish here is we're trying to make sure that we're the first ones to really make sure that we provide that healthcare, and we provide a proper healthcare for the next generation. And ultimately, by the time we do hand down that baton, the infrastructure will be in place, and the standard of healthcare will be right up there. So I think it's really to make sure that we're the first ones to up that ante in terms of the healthcare that's being provided, as well as the infrastructure, and then for the next generation almost to say you try and do better. So I think for me personally, it's always been about standards. For me on the cricket field, stepping on the cricket field, it's always been about standards. I've always matched myself against the best in the world, and no different here. I want to make sure that by the time I'm done with Tygerberg Hospital or the children's side of it, that there's a proper healthcare facility for the next generations to come.
Yeah, that's
it
always
certainly is.
been, that is so true. And I mean, visiting Tygerberg Hospital as well, you know, there is a lot of help that's needed at the hospital itself, and especially with the children. And I think I'm emphasizing again, we've had it on the show before, that most of these kids actually come from around the Western Cape. So it's not just here by us in Cape Town. They come from afar, and their mothers have to travel with them. And I spoke to you about this, Jason, where you know, the support is needed for these families, especially those that's traveled so far.
Sure, yes. I mean, if you imagine the footprint of Tygerberg Hospital, which is about 60% of the Western Cape, which is predominantly the rural Western Cape. Imagine the furthest extent of our province, and a mom from a small Karoo town having to travel to Tygerberg Hospital by bus and taxi, being accommodated along the way. Perhaps it's a 2-day journey. When she gets to the hospital, where does she stay? Does she have family around the area where she can stay, or does she have to find her own accommodation? So these kind of challenges are very, very real. And we're not even talking yet about the health challenges. This is just transport, logistics, food, and where to sleep. Like basic human needs, you know, before we even talk about the actual healthcare issue for her traveling to Tygerberg Hospital. So as a trust, we take it upon ourselves to look at that whole ecosystem of support. And that is ultimately what we are aiming for, is how to get there. So when I spoke earlier about seemingly insurmountable problems, yes, it's true. It's a lot to do, and we probably won't realize the things in our lifetime. But if we can rally together, we can try. We can certainly make a massive impact. And that's where we're aiming for.
I like what you're saying, Jason, because talking to you previously as well, and you can see that, these are considered approaches, especially from the trust side, you know, that holistic care, that is what we're talking about, because you paint the picture there. If somebody is geographically, we're looking at multiple deprivations in a way. You've got to geographically get to hospital. There is no indication of how long the little one will be in a patient, or you know, and this could run up to months even. So it does become a bigger problem. So this is very necessary in order to raise much needed funds. Now let me curveball the question, because one or two comments quickly before I want to get into it, but just something you touched on. Now we in a pandemic. We are now in a COVID time. In the last 15 months or so, the world has drastically changed for everybody. So raising funds, has that been more of a challenge?
Yes, without a doubt, it's been a massive challenge for us. Just to talk about the golf day, the golf day forms one of our event packages. We haven't been able to run events for more than a year now. So just that alone is a massive revenue stream for the trust that's been impacted. If you look at donor funding has been, in our experience, has been diverted to other causes, predominantly adult causes related to the pandemic, because COVID is basically an adult disease. But what we suffer is the ancillary effects of the pandemic. So the KMC campaign, which we started last year, right at the beginning of lockdown, is a good example of that. Because suddenly our moms who were traveling from all corners of the province to come to the hospital are now being told that because of lockdown regulations, they have to be accommodated at the hospital for an extended period of time while they give birth and then care for their babies there. So suddenly the moms are separated from their families physically. They are digitally separated from them because perhaps they don't have airtime, and there's not really access to free Wi-Fi at the hospital, which is something that we actually helped to unlock also early in the pandemic, because that was identified as a need. And then also mothers don't have clothes. They don't have access to toiletries, or they run out while they are there. So KMC was born out of that, an ancillary problem created by the pandemic that's got nothing to do with COVID-19 directly.
Wow. So if I must say, even with the golf, obviously, day that we're having now, all these funds in that will be going towards basically all these needs as such?
That's correct. In fact, I'm remembering now that the election campaign is also a good example of of a tertiary effect or ancillary effect of COVID-19. Because towards the latter end of last year, and perhaps into the beginning of this year, we found that donations of breast milk to the hospital were slowing down and drying up.
Wow.
So the milk bank at the hospital wasn't receiving the donated milk that they usually receive, which they then pasteurize, which are essentially used as survival food for the premier babies in the hospital. So premier babies need like 2 tablespoons of pasteurized human milk per day to survive. And if you think there's 100 premier babies in the wards at the time, that's their source of food and nutrition. So if there's no donations of breast milk, there's a trickle-down effect that affects those babies. And the reason why we're not getting those donations of breast milk is because either moms are afraid to come to the hospital, or moms are suffering their own stresses and they're not producing breast milk. We also found that in the communities, for some reason, breastfeeding slowed down. So moms were opting to put their babies onto formula instead of breastfeeding. And there was a knock-on effect of babies then coming to the hospital with early symptoms of malnutrition and things like this because of using formula and not breast milk. So you can see how these are not directly related to COVID-19, but there's a trickle-down effect in society where there's these other things that no one's talking about. That is also caused by the pandemic.
Wow.
No, the ripple effect is certainly absolutely huge, and you have painted a seriously vivid picture, and all I can say is that is why this is so important. So people definitely to support the trust, because the work is so huge. But quickly, gentlemen, I want to move on to some of the comments that we have here. So firstly, Candace, thank you very much. Candace Jansen sending a comment who says, Vernon, thank you for supporting the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust and for paying it forward. Just keep doing what you do. Hubert Paulson, morning Hubert, has also said, he also says, it is said that giving is not just about making a donation, it's about making a difference. So that conscientious decision, and that typically sounds like something Hubert would say, let me just say.
Definitely.
And Jason, this really speaks to you, but also to both of you, really, because Candace said a great leadership, Jason, being at the helm of the trust. And we can see that because this is what great leaders do. You attract people like Vernon into this, and 2 heads are better than one, and you try and cover all aspects. Hubert has also gone on to say that Vernon and Jason, what you do and what you speak about, what you do speaks loudly. So proud of you, gentlemen, and looking forward to the golf day. So that is where I want to focus on to next, because how do people get in touch? How do they be part of the golf day? Can you tell us who was playing? What are the prizes that's on offer? Firstly, so we know this is taking place at Pearl Valley at Valdevie, which is and Vernon, let's get you in there. You say this is your home course. What makes this course so special?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's the number 2 ranked course in South Africa at the moment, which means it's a very, very special place. The manicured, the course is in phenomenal condition at the moment. So yeah, I think, for any golfer who has played golf and absolutely loved the terrain of golf, they will love this layout. I mean, there's a lot of water. You've raised a question there about the prizes being on offer. I'd rather not go there, because then guys will fill out their scorecards before they get to the golf course. We want to give everyone a fair opportunity of winning. But yeah, it is just such a special place. You get down there, the aura of, you're checking in, you're being led to your golf cart. The practice facilities is world class. And then, the course is in awesome nick. I've been out there last week. So yeah, it's really a big treat for any golfer. You get your normal golf courses around Cape Town, but this will really stand out when you get there.
Is it? I want to get into it because the last time we saw you was a couple of days back, and we actually met you at a golf course, and some of us were trying to play cricket on the golf course. Apologies about that. It won't happen again. Well, it was you, man. It's not me. It's because it was you. You know what I mean? Obviously, I want to play cricket. I want to show my skills. But be as it may. So looking at Pearl Valley's golf course, let's look at the first 9 quickly. Let's talk us about that. Which one out of those are very, very tricky? Come on, you got to give us a tip, man. There's people who are going to come and play. Give us a tip, like watch out for the third tee, or come on. You've played it.
I think we've on the first 9. There's 2 holes. It's very daunting. It's number 7 and 8. You've got water on the right. I think any golfer standing on a tee box and you've got water in your eye, it's always a bit of a problem. So there's a bunker on the left. If I can give you guys a tip, go straight at the bunker. The water shouldn't be in play if your golf is on golfing standards. So for the rest of you, just hit it as hard as you can and hope for the best.
Hope for the best.
But, the first 9, 7, and 8 are definitely holes to look out for. We normally call it the make or break holes. So those are things that you. If you go to bed and you're a planning golfer, make sure that you plan around those 2 holes.
Those holes.
Right,
Vernon, you sound like a real pro there, bro. So what is your handicap, if I may ask?
He said scratch.
Scratch?
Yeah.
Oh, I
You're not lying, are you?
No, you can go and look it up.
I've got to ask.
Okay.
Jason, and I'm not sure if I asked you, do you play?
Now, what I know about golf is scary, eh? I can say that much.
Look, I can tell you something now. You're very knowledgeable on most things, sir, so I take your word for it.
So I'm learning from the pros at the moment. So, watch the space. It's in development.
Jason's golf clubs comes in the form of a fishing rod. So. He goes on the golf course as well.
So, guys, how do you register for this 4-ball, and is there still space to book?
Well, you can try. There might be some people who pull out. Of course, there's still 2 spaces left on the CEO's 4-ball. So I'm open to persuasion.
Okay. So you got 2 spaces left. So with this broadcast, we're going to try our utmost to have those 2 spaces filled for you.
Definitely.
And before, because we want to get in and we want to leave with the parting thoughts of how you can exactly be in the golfing day. But also, I got to just tag on to what Hubert has just mentioned online, which he says with donor fatigue, and this is a serious thing, and considering the pandemic, considering the past few months, with donor fatigue, more and more prevalent, and we see this across the board, of course. Jason, his question is basically, what else is there that we can do? Can people donate their time to the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust?
What can they do?
Can they email you if they've got a great idea? How can people contribute? How effectively? What are the things that you would need right now?
Okay, so what I can say about donor fatigue is it's very, very real. And in South Africa in particular, it already existed for many years. There are many NGOs in South Africa all vying for the same pockets of money. So donor fatigue is a very real reality in South Africa for the non-profit space. I urge non-profits to explore other ways of making money and making funding so they can support their projects. For me, it's important for the trust and our business model to connect with people, to connect with as many people as possible. That's why we are quite unique in a lot of ways, in particularly the various platforms that we've created, including the Tutu Tygers, the Champions for Children, the Drop 10 Club, and many others, so that people can join us, become a part of our family, and together we can figure out how to raise the funds that is needed. There's lots of different ways. We can do events such as Golf Day and others. We can also form 4 business ventures where the trust is a partner with others. So we are exploring all sorts of social businesses like that and many more, other than just sending out requests for funding. So we've got quite a wide, from the trust perspective, we have quite a wide range of sources of revenue, if I can say that, which I think is quite unique for the non-profit space. So I'm quite excited to see how these new channels of funding opens up for us in the years to come.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that. Listen, and sorry, before I rudely interrupted with my question, the point that Rhoda was making, sorry, I'll make a bit for you.
Go for it.
Was basically, so if people want to, so we know you said there's 2 spaces still that you got on CEO's team, but if people want to enter a team, what do they do? Do they email you? Go to the website?
Yep. The best way is to email us at admin@tygerberg.co.za. at tygerbergchildren.org.za. Or if you get lost, you can just go to our website and you can find us there. It's also tygerbergchildren.org.za.
Yeah, and just to be clear, considering social distance and pandemic, the numbers that can participate is less, would be less than what it would have been in a normal circumstances.
Yes, correct. So we are following full COVID protocols for the golf day. We've restricted our 4 balls to 20 and maximum of 100 people in the closed spaces.
Yeah.
I think I just want to also tell everybody out there, don't let this stop you. That doesn't mean you can still actually give towards the golf day. Even if you can't make it, you know what, you can still give the funds. So just donating that 4 ball, even if you're not going to be there, will help at the end of the day. So even though we're restricted with COVID numbers, guys out there, please, you can still donate. Okay.
He can certainly be in there. And Vernon, just going to you, I mean, you talking Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust all the time. You were Tutu Tyger. I mean, you must be looking forward to this golf day now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking forward to hosting people, and like Jason has alluded to a bit earlier, it has been a year of non-functions really. So what better place to come to than being in the open air on a golf course, really enjoying yourself, enjoy what you do, and by having fun, you're also donating to a magnificent and great cause. So yeah, for me, it's just really good to be out there, and I'm really looking forward to interacting with many of the donors that's going to be there, and like I said, let's create this and start a circle of giving back and making sure that the generations to come is in a better place.
Almost, definitely.
I like that what you said, and also what you said you were from Ravensmead, so I mean the hospital is basically on the doorstep, and you said earlier this was really a no-brainer for you to get involved. So can we just say from our side, thank you that you are involved, and it is such an important thing, and hopefully we can all strive and then learn from your example and do that. But more importantly, what I like is the fact about getting that relationship going, because it's a constant thing, and that is the sentiment. It's about having a sustainable relationship, you know what I mean? Because and I just want to echo this, if you don't mind. It is not about just making a donation, but if you're involved at some point, 2 heads are always better than 1.
That is so true.
Yeah, and in this case, one head is a lot better here than 2, because but
absolutely. I think for me, I mean, if I can just end off by saying, humanity needs respect again, and I think it starts with oneself. Transformation really starts with oneself. So yeah, if we can just put humanity in front of every aspect that that we have been raising, I think we're going to be in the right track. So there's a lot of people suffering, especially after COVID as well. So let's not forget about that as well. Let's play our part, however big or small. But yeah, together we can do a lot more, like you said. Sommige koppe het 'n bietjie meer hare as anders, maar we're very far away.
So yeah, I'm the one with less hair. But
Vernon, well said.
Listen, I got to ask you, because people said you got Vernon Philander on, you got to ask him a cricket a cricket question. So if I look at your career, man, it's highlight upon highlight. I mean, there is so many things that, I mean, it is difficult for me to find a highlight, because it's all just highlight. When you look at that, when you look at all these wonderful things that you have achieved for our nation on the sporting field, and all those amazing memories throughout the years, and you compared with the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, this work, that passion comes through. Passion comes through. What is there that you would say to a very young Vernon Philander right now? What would be the first thing? Anybody at school, what is there that you will say for them to really grasp, and what you might have hoped somebody told you at a young age? What is there that you would say?
Yeah, I think there's 2 things that comes to mind straight away. I think never really, look for an excuse, outside of your circumstances. Take your circumstances and make that, your reason to be great one day. And I think for me, that was something that always stood out for me. People always tell me, you know where you come from, and I try to, really make it roles reversed and use it to my advantage, because, coming from a poor background and coming from a rough area. There's so many attributes, that you can literally use, on your day-to-day basis to make yourself a tougher character. So for any young person that's coming through now, don't look for the short way out. Really, go with the grind. Take the hard route. Ultimately, that hard route will, last for a sustainable, longer, future for yourself. So, don't look for shortcuts, but also, learn as you go along the way, and really make the best out of every situation you find yourself in.
Wow. The way you answer that, I got to ask this. This is probably the hardest question I've asked anybody. Did you ever believe that things would work out the way they did for you on the sporting field? Did you have that belief all the time from day one? Now that you talk about hard work and all of that.
No, I'll be brutally honest with you. For me, it was always about enjoying, whatever I did, and with the enjoyment, obviously, the success came. And I mean, I've learned a lot through my failures. A lot of people always highlight, the success that I've reaped later on in my career, but there was also a lot of failures early on in my career, and I think you learn a lot more from your failures. And it's another point that I would like to put to people, don't be afraid to fail, because ultimately, and to me, it's not about failing, it's more about learning. Sometimes, you learn harder than just scraping through life. But do not be afraid to take chances, and if they come off, they come off. But if they don't come off, you actually learn a lot more. So really go out there and just enjoy it, man. Enjoy life, and have that sort of energy, with people alongside you, and be a positive influence. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Learning from failure. Let me be honest with you. I'll be the first one to say, the successes speak too loud, bro. That's all I can say. It speaks too loud. It's still echoing. I can still hear it.
Vernon, well done. I can take my hat off to you. And you're such a good example out there to all our youth out there. And this has always been Mahala's viewpoint as well, to actually speak to the youth out there and tell them, what, you can make a difference, and you are a brilliant example of exactly that. Anything is, you can do and get anything you want in this world. It's all up to you at the end of the day. Thank you very much.
And Jason, what can I say, man? As captain of this industry, you are par excellence, beyond belief. Keep doing what you do, and we wish you the best. In closing, gentlemen, is there anything you would like to add? And do you have any questions for Rhoda?
No, for Dougal.
I'd just like to add one thing. It was very easy for me to sit here and talk to you guys about this great golf day we have coming up and all these things that the trust has been up to. But actually, I've done very little for the golf day. There's an amazing team of ladies in front of me, running all these things behind the scenes. Not only behind the scenes, in the scenes and in front of the scenes. So I'd just like to take a short few minutes here just to say thanks to them. They've done an absolute amazing job over this past 2 years that we've been together. And we've able to move this organization, the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, from one point in time to something with a lot of promise for the future. So I just want to say thanks to them for that.
Oh, you're an excellent leader.
Thank you, Jason. Vernon, anything from your side? Final thoughts from your side?
No, I just think I would like to interact with everyone. And please, like we all said, that, if you can't make it to the golf day, there are other ways of making sure that you can contribute. And it's not always about contributing financially. If you have any other sort of skills that you feel that might add to, the young lives in the Tygerberg Hospital, please do interact with us and get a hold of us. We'd love to have you on board. And all South Africans, please stay safe. COVID is still a reality, unfortunately, but let's respect each other. And again, that word humanity, if we all can put that ahead of ourselves, I think we're on the right track. But have an awesome week ahead, and stay safe.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well,
gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us here on Mahala Monday. We wish you both the best, and stay safe. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck practicing. Certain people is going to need more practice than others. So get ready, that golf day is coming.
The golf day is coming.
Yeah.
Don't forget that is what date is our golf day again?
The 13th. It's the 13th, Jason.
Jason?
The 13th of May.
There we go,
Yes.
13th of May. Don't forget, important, put it in your calendars, please.
Yeah, it's
Thank
around
you,
the
guys.
corner. So joining us then today, that was Jason Falcon, which is the CEO of the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, and then also one of the founding members, Tutu Tyger, for the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust legend, Vernon Philander. So once again, to both gents, thank you very much for joining us and being part of this broadcast. So there is a couple of things that I want to take from this. Firstly,
yeah.
I mean, the immense work that we do, we cannot underline it enough. The Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust does amazing work. And not only are we looking at babies and little ones from the Western Cape, but they also do work in the other provinces, Northern Cape, Eastern Cape. So it is vast, and they definitely need your support. But so we know they're doing that, but now there's this golf day, 13th of May.
Yes.
Pearl Valley Valdevie, second golf course, number 2, Vernon said. I heard him say. Well, this is where you got to be. But the space is limited.
Yeah.
So you got to go to www.tygerbergchildren.org.za. That is it, www.tygerberg.org.za. You got to go there. You got to find out all the details there, and more importantly, both of them said this, Rhoda, as well. Even if there isn't space for a 4-ball, like let's say it's all out, but let's first get it there.
That's so true.
Be involved. Come up with a suggestion. This is really one of those opportunities where we've got to take hands now.
Oh, most definitely. And you know what? I want to thank those that's actually already booked their 4 balls. Thank you very much for supporting the trust. And, you know, you guys are looking forward to some lovely goodie bags, or golf cart, or halfway a snack house, prize giving, a dinner. So, you know what? Well done. And thank you for your support. I really want to thank you.
Yeah. So there's lots to look forward to. So that magical date is the 13th of May. I didn't say this to Jason or Vernon, but we're definitely going to find out from them how it went. I would want to know, and then sneakily I will definitely put that into one of the shows to see how it went, how it certainly went. So Vernon even gave you a tip or two on which is the holes you got to watch out for, where the bunker is and water and everywhere. Just go for the bunker. He said go for the bunker.
That's all I heard.
I can't remember which hole, so I take that. Just go for the sand wherever you go. Just sun. That's what you got to do, baby. So yeah, Rhoda, that is it from my side.
That's it from us. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you for joining us today on Mahala. It was really a fabulous show, and I really enjoyed our conversation this morning on Google.
No, we certainly did. So don't forget, www.tygerbergchildren.org.za, and we know you're definitely going to check it out, and there is definitely something for you to really a worthy cause and definitely be part of. To the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, thank you very much again for the amazing work you do, and of course for the Tutu Tygers like Vernon and the like. Thank you very much for being part of such a wonderful, wonderful initiative. But more importantly, thank you to you as well for joining us here on Mahala Monday. Thank you for all the comments and questions, and we look forward to having you back for the next episode. In the meantime, you know what you got to do: the like, the what? What's that?
Subscribe, hit the bell, please, and don't forget. You can look at this episode again on YouTube, so go and have a look.
And then we'll see you for the next one. So from myself, Dougal, and Rhoda, until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.